review of the JJ from Cocomelon Larger Than Matte. So in the previous video, I cut out all the pieces so you can kind of see those on the table. And what we're gonna do is go ahead and just start gluing and piecing those pieces together. So right now, the JJ is forward facing. What I need to do is flip all of the pieces over, and this is the background that we're gonna build onto. So we need to flip everything over because we need to put the tape on the back side. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just kind of reposition and flip, okay? And just kind of remembering how it's gonna go when we flip it back over. That's gonna be the front side. So you just wanna line everything back up as neat as possible. And then we're gonna be taping the seams together. Okay, so, and I just use regular Scotch tape. I have my roller here. I'm just gonna roll off some pieces. And you wanna make sure your edges are flat because you want it to be as seamless as possible. And don't be afraid to use the tape. That's gonna help us make a nice sturdy foundation. And don't worry about the tape on the back side because we are gonna put this on a foam board, so you're not gonna have to worry about seeing that tape when you use your prop. Okay. So you just wanna butt everything as flush together as possible, and then tape it in place. And it's basically gonna be like putting a puzzle together, as I mentioned in the other video. The object is to just make sure all of your pieces are flushed together, and just tape along those seams. And definitely don't be afraid to use some tape, especially close to the edges. You want to make sure you're applying your tape there. And then just make sure it can't be seen from the front side. Okay. And I'm just gonna add some here. And get as close to the edge as possible. And a good rule of thumb before you tape everything together, you want to have it on the right side first, just kind of seeing how your pieces are going to go, and then just making sure you have all the pieces turned the correct way. You definitely don't want to tape anything upside down And if you realize you didn't have it as flushed as you would like it, just take the tape up and then just reposition it and put your tape back on it. Let's do that piece again. Piece over here. And again, just making sure to keep it as smooth as possible. Put a piece closer to the edge. Because you definitely don't want your edges to come apart. And then if you notice that you missed any pieces, just kind of go back and run your tape along the seams. Then I'm gonna flip it over. And I have one more piece to add on, which is his hand. So let me flip that back over. Hand on there. Okay, so now I think I have it taped as much as I would like it to be. And that's the most time consuming part. Just trying to get it taped back together. Okay, so you can see now we have it all taped together. And then we now need to just kind of build it up. So I'm gonna take his face and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put the pieces on here. Before you start gluing, you just want to kind of line everything up before you start to glue. Just to see where things should go. And it takes a little practice. To just make sure you are being as accurate as possible. And just kind of make sure you are positioning the pieces as best as possible. Just want to just kind of piece everything in. Okay, so his head is pretty much intact, as as far as positioning goes, it kind of goes just like that. And we'll continue to add on our pieces. Let me get his bodysuit. And then you can see how we start covering up some of those seams that we created, because you're going to be laying the pieces on top of those cut areas. Just play around with it. Piece kind of got stuck, so I'm gonna just put it back. There we go. And I'll just continue to build and add our little pieces. Add his little teeth. And some of the pieces can get to be very small, so you just want to keep up with all your pieces. And be sure to add those for your details. Add his hand in here. And you can see it already starting to form. I'm just gonna keep adding your pieces. Until you have a finished picture. And sometimes you may have to play around with it. Now we're going to put the bottom of the pajamas together. Feet. Forgot one piece of his eye. Definitely want to get that in there. And you can see it's starting to come together, and then I'll be ready to glue it down. Now, the other thing would be to put the fish on his pajamas, but I'm not gonna put those in because they're so small, so I'll wait until I glue the pajamas down and then go ahead and put that piece in. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna just use my glue, and I use the 3-in-1, and then I also use my permanent glue pen for the smaller pieces. And glue those pieces on. And you don't have to put a whole lot of glue, so you can keep it as neat and clean as possible. I use like a little rubber eraser to touch up any of my areas that may have glue spill over to keep it clean. All right, so now I'll come here and just kind of start working on the head. And you can see I use my eraser just to kind of clean up any glue. Okay, this is the final outcome. The character is all put together. It stands about 2 feet 6 inches. And the last thing that I want to do is create a foam board backing so that the character can stand on its own. That would be my final video showing you how to assemble the character to the foam board backing. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell for upcoming notifications of my new videos. Thanks for watching Lottie's Creations.